Okay, so welcome back to another Bitwig tutorial, and in this one we need to talk about the Treemonster. So first, I'm going to show you how this works behind the scenes, how it thinks, how each knob means, what it means, and how it works. Because if I don't explain this, I cannot, explain anything else. I cannot show you the other things. So I'm going to go right here, and I'm going to use the test tone. So the test tone is going to be this one. So it's a little bit annoying because it's just a single sine wave. And I'm using a little bit of reverb just to smooth everything out on your headphones or your speakers. So I'm gonna go and make this one bigger. So we have a test tone going at 413, which is gonna be around G sharp, right? It's just a tone. So when I enable the Treemonster, notice that nothing is gonna happen. Now, what you need to do first, just to set this up, it's the pitch all the way, in the middle. The threshold down, the speed down, and the ring down. And I'm doing just a little bit of mix, just a little bit, maybe 14%. This one is all the way down, all the way up. And again, the threshold is this one, which is going to be all the way up. Okay, so let me just, explain this in steps. So first, this Treemonster is going to do several things. And of course, is going to use your original sound source, which in this case is the sine wave. Let me just bring down this sine wave to do several things, right? And you have different stages. You have the ring, and the ring is connected to the pitch, and the threshold is connected to the pitch and the ring, and the initial test tone, and the speed as well as the filters, because these are filters. Okay, so let me just bring the test tone. So first of all, we're going to start easy. You get a ring, kind of a modulator right here. Now, if you don't know what a ring modulator, I'm not going to explain right now because it's kind of a, I wouldn't say it's tough, but there's a lot of explaining. If I have to show you, let me just bring right here. You do have a ring mod device on your, on your Bitwig. And I made a tutorial about how this works behind the scene and the scenes and the math that happens, just to make it works like it works. So go and watch that one if you want to know what a ring mod is. Now the thing is, on this one, whenever we enable the ring mod, notice that we will start getting tones. 2 different tones in this case. So behind the scenes, there's a math going on right here that is analyzing and putting these 2 tones where they are. Now, of course, the pitch, the original pitch, and this pitch will change the position of this ring because it's a ring mod. So if I go to something like that, notice that the ring is just moving, it's making a calculation and putting these extra tones based on this one and based on this one as well. Because if I move the pitch of the Treemonster, they are just going to be moving. Right now, the pitch is on the 50%, which means that the pitch is completely equal to whatever it comes right here. There is no pitch detuning. But if I detune, the ring mods are following the detuning, not the original sound source. Now, at the end of the day, the original sound source is very important because this is working, listening to this sine wave. So if I change it, they're still going to change. The only thing is that we just can offset them. We can do something like that, or maybe go down. We start getting, something like that. But again, at the end of the day, this is just a ring mod. That's all it is. Okay, so you have this one. Then what you have is the threshold. Now this one will create, again, a different ones. If I go on the threshold, as soon as this is picking up whatever sound that we're feeding to the Treemonster, is going to generate a pitch. Now, we don't see it. Let me just bring the ring mod. We don't see it, but we can hear it. And it's going a little bit loud. It's a little bit annoying. I'm going to control this in post. But notice that we are kind of getting, once we enable, kind of a vibrato. A vibrato motion. It's going up and down in volume. Now, I'm going to go down. And notice that that's happening. So first of all, this is generating an extra tone, and it's putting it right here on the same pitch where we have our sine wave. And it's because the pitch is, again, equal to whatever sine wave or whatever sound we put right here. But if we offset, the Treemonster will generate this on a different pitch, on a different place. In this case, notice that we have semitones right here. It's going to be 12th. All right, let me just bring down the mix. So, of course, if we turn this off, this is going to slowly go away because it's not reacting to whatever sound we have. We need to meet the threshold. That's what the white line means, the yellow line. I'm colorblind. Now, of course, if we move the pitch, this is going to move that extra tone. And at the same time, if we bring some ring mod, it's going to move, it's going to create bring the ring mod, and it's going to move it based off the original tone. Now, of course, with this one, we could create really cool sounds. If I go and move the original sine wave, since this listens to the original sine or the original sound, is gonna move. That's why it's called Treemonster. It's just following this sound by creating a tone and then the ring mode. Now notice, if I go up and then I go down really quick, this is taking a long time to go back. Just a very long time. Just taking a long time. And this is because we have a speed knob. So if I go up again, maybe put it on some place right here, the speed, it means that it's gonna go and follow it faster. Right? So pretty simple. Faster and faster. Now, of course, if you go fast, you can start getting, a lot more harmonics and, a lot more things right here. We can see them right here. And when we go and we move this, we can see that it's bringing a lot more. And that's, of course, dependent on the speed. When you go over 0%, right here, half, it's like you start getting that. So that's it. This is how it works behind the scenes. Now, of course, I'm going to go down in pitch. I'm going to put them right here. Or maybe I'm going to put the sine wave right here and just the pitch right here. Now, then you have the filters. So on the filter, it means that if whatever original sound source is within the scope of the red and the blue, it means that it will generate that extra tone that we get right here. But if we put it outside of the scope, that extra tone goes away. Now, the one that stays is going to be the ring mod. If you don't want the ring, we turn the ring and we have nothing. The Treemonster is not doing anything. So this is important because, of course, you can filter some frequencies or unwanted frequencies, and you can make the Treemonster react on, just a simple frequency, some simple frequencies. Very simple. Okay. So this is how it works behind the scenes. You have a filter, you have a pitch to, to move the tone that is generating the Treemonster, and on top of that, it's going to move whenever the original sound moves. And then you have the speed, of course, to decide how fast it goes. And then you have the extra ring modulation. Now, of course, it's kind of it's fun, but it's just a little bit dull, no? So what we can do in this case, I'm going to go and just turn all the mix down. And I'm going to go and bring this one. We are getting that, computer sound. The good old 80s computer sound. And that's fine. Now, of course, since the Treemonster is going to react on whatever original source or sound that comes in, it's going to start generating things. So I'm going to go and just bring it. And notice that everything that is giving us, the ring modulation, the speed is going really fast. And if it goes slower, we're going to start getting that. And of course, the pitch will help. Right, so really cool. Let me just stop the madness. I'm gonna go and do something like that. So that's what the Treemonster is going to do behind the scenes. Of course, you might use it like this, of course, but you can use it on different ways just to get different sounds. And this is a perfect kind of a sound effects machine, sound effects device. So I have some snares right here, and they sound pretty dull, right? Some snares. Now notice that the Treemonster, I have the mix all the way down, but the Treemonster is doing something. I'm gonna go way down on the volume. and we have a little bit of ring. We are going really fast on the speed. The snare is triggering the threshold, and we are just filtering a little bit of the highs and a little bit of the lows. If I bring the mix all the way up, we get that. So this is just could be a sound effects, something that goes or something that you can, generate and use in your own tracks as a sound effects, and it comes from a dumb snare. So imagine all the sounds you can put right here and just mess around with the Treemonster. Now, at the top, you can go and bring some modulation. Let me just bring an LFO. So let's say I want to modulate the pitch. Maybe I want to modulate the ring, and I want to modulate the speed. Maybe I'm gonna go. And maybe I can do this one, the high pass and low pass. Really cool sounds, really weird sounds, of course. Now, if we go faster, or we can just create a different waveform, it's gonna react differently, of course. So again, this is like a perfect sound weird effects, a weird sound effects machine. Now, of course, this doesn't stop you from using this from a normal kind of a thing. So I'm gonna go right here. I'm gonna go all the way, mix down. And I'm gonna go and do some playing, and we get our dumb snare. Right? Pretty simple. Now, of course, if I go up, what you can use a very small amount of mix just to get a bit more dirtiness out of the snare. Notice that the pitch is the same. The threshold is just catching the peaks, the upper parts, not everything. If I go, we are catching more of the lows and everything. But if I catch the peaks, you're just gonna get a tiny little bit of some artifacts right there at the top. Now if I go slow on the speed, we are hearing the tone. So it's a little bit different. There's no ring right now. And remember, when we go on the speed, we get a bit of noise because it's really fast. And you can use this, just to add something else to your simple sound, your dumb snare. Again, so this is a different way of using the Treemonster. Let me just show you a different way. Okay, so I have a dumb arpeggio right here, and notice that I'm using an instrument layer. The 1 and the 2 are just muted, and we are just getting this sound, this synthesizer, right? Just a simple arp. Now remember, we were taking the snares and kind of destroying and getting a weird sound effects. So we could do the same thing with this one. I'm gonna go and mute this one, and I'm gonna go and solo this one. So since the Treemonster will work, or will just react to the audio of whatever sound, I'm using an audio receiver, and I'm receiving this sound that comes out of the synthesizer, which is the dumb keys, the arpeggio, and that of course is feeding to the Treemonster, and we are just can create some weird sounds again. This is a perfect sound effects machine. And notice that the pitch, it's using semitones, so you can just match it to, maybe 12 up, which is an octave up. And even you can just play it with your original sound and just use it in the background. Just an extra thing. Again, this is a creative device. Or maybe a different example would be something like this. I'm gonna go right here. Right. So what I'm doing right here, I'm using a test tone. The same test tone that we've been using. Now, of course, since we are on a MIDI track, we are getting MIDIs, incoming MIDI notes, and each note is going to trigger something. So I'm using an ADSR to catch every time that we press a key. I'm not catching the pitch. I'm just catching every time we press a key. And what I'm doing, I'm just going up and down in volume. So now the sine, and if I disable this, we get, let me just go up in volume, maybe this one. We get that, you know, that fashion is like going like that. Now, of course, this sound will affect how, you know, the Treemonster is going to work. So if I go to the Treemonster, of course, it's going to go down. So let me go down in volume. So if I go to the Treemonster now and enable it, I'm doing the same thing than before. I'm using an LFO just to make some craziness right here to the pitch. But now we are using a sine tone, and the sine is listening to the MIDI. Again, this is the perfect, you know, sound effects machine. This is great. Just a great device. Now, the thing is that there is a lot of experimentation right here that you need to do. You need to do a little bit of experimentation and then save the patch. That's what you need to do. Right. So that's the Treemonster. And of course, you can use it just a simple device to add something extra to some sound, or you can use it to create kind of a crazy sounds like this. You know, create sound effects. All right. So hopefully you'll learn something on this one. Remember to like and subscribe, and remember, you know, to check Patreon. That's how, you know, you keep the lights on this channel. And see you on the next one.